Is this some good stuff we're getting here today? Okay, I truly believe if you really buckle down and really start grasping all we're talking about here and start putting this whole business in proper perspective, right? Your business has got to be in perspective. You got to learn all your product services, all that type of stuff, all the techniques, all that stuff will come. But only one thing that really gets you where all that works is when you actually start doing the business, right? So when you walk out of here and you're after your 72 hours, you should be fully armed to have enough information to create conversations with people, to overcome their objections or what they might say. Or you might be able to even do it more than just talking to a family member. No, you can talk to business people, right? Remember, we didn't make that up in the BOP when we tell you that we don't just help families, we help business owners also. So it's very important that you know that those are all ways to start conversation. Like people would come up to me, well, how do you talk to people on life insurance? Well, you don't just go up there, hey Ken, you look like a nice guy, how much life insurance you got? Right? I mean, you don't just do that, right? Me, I like to kid around with people, like, you look a little uninsured today. Right? Whatever, I mean, well, there's got to be ways, right, Mary, there's got to be a ways how you talk to people about approaching them to get an FNA, to get an appointment. And I think the best way to really do it is when you use the referral side of this business. You see, a lot of people, I think it was Aaron, that was you, Erdem, right? He came to me one day and he says, well, what do I say to people? How do I talk to people? And I went through a couple of scenarios with him, and you see, when you get those scenarios, you got to write them down, you got to go use them. And then you call me up and say, well, I tried it and this is what happened, right? But if you don't try it, you don't call me back, I can't help you. So whatever scenarios you're listening to, I hope you guys are writing them down and you practice them on people. If you're scared to talk to people, I don't know, if you got a dog, practice on your dog. Right? If you wag his tail, you're doing a good job, right? So the whole idea is to use this information. You got to keep using it and using it and using it until you get comfortable. Because when you're in the life insurance industry, you really got to get this business inside of you. You really do. If the business is not inside of you, you could be just walking around with information. The business got to get inside of you. Once the business is inside of you, you'll overcome any objection people have. You'll talk to anyone that comes around you because you start building this confidence when it's inside of you. Okay, so let me bring up Duy right now. I know Duy, I want him to come back and touch a little more on the index UL for us, because we're going to talk more and more this whole weekend on that. Before we go to other products, I know we had Fuji talk about it a little more. But I think, you know, when I first started this business, after every BOP, Duy would get up and do an index trading. And half the room would get up and walk away, but those people would get up and walk away, they had no idea. That's our business. That's our business. The index UL is our business. I don't care how much disability policy you write or how much else you write. It's the index UL is our business. That's the hardcore product of this company. Okay, and when you properly use it the right way, it's a great thing for people. So without further ado, my upline sponsor, Mr. Duy Nguyen. Give him a big hand.
Yes. Okay, yeah. Bye-bye.
All right. Well, you know, when I first get introduced to the financial service industry, I was an engineer. And I remember that night when I came to the meeting and I attended the presentation of that company. What I learned that night was how to identify my retirement goal. How many of you in this room have seen the commercial where ING, they have like, one person carry a number walking around. You think, that's your retirement number. And I was very impressed with the way that the presenter that night showed me how to do that. And that day I made that decision to be involved with the financial services industry just because of that one technique I learned that day. Because I figured out, hey, I went to school as an engineer for 4 years. You know, they taught me the Maxwell equation. They taught me, you know, all kind of equation, but they forgot to teach me how to retire. You know what I mean? And I went to work, and then, you know, all of my co-workers tell me, Duy, you got to put the money into the 401k, and that's all I knew. I knew nothing about how much I need to put in, and you know, I didn't really know. And that night, that guy just showed me how to identify my retirement goal, and not only to identify it, he also showed me how to get there. You know, and that's why I was so impressed with the information and make that decision. And that is the reason why, you know, when I start doing the business, I create a very much a similar formula that I would taught, and put it on a very, you know, what I call the financial checkup. Because the objective that we have is, you know, we want to be able to go out and help everyone to retire. Now, if you go out during, you try to look for people to buy life insurance, compared to look for people who want to retire, which one is more? The one who retired, right? So either Phil is here to share with you the formula, what I learned, and then, you know, you can apply that formula. And then, you know, if you happen to be in any restaurant or have a conversation with anyone, the only thing that you need to really have is your smartphone. And then you will be able to identify that number, and you will impress the heck of your client. Okay? So let me see whether this thing is working first. Go to my computer. This one. Yeah. See, this is one of the tools that we have on the financial checkup, and this is the tool that I use to sell IUL. Okay, very similar to what Dan was talking about. You know, we have you and the spouse. The first question that we need to ask people is how old are they? Okay, and the next question that we need to ask people, you know, our client is, when do they want to retire? What age they want to retire? You see that? Now, retirement life, you have to understand this. It could mean different things to many people. You know, it's about the lifestyle. And I normally mention about this, you know, to somebody who happened to make a decision to retire, right? So they go to work, they declare to the whole world that I will never, ever, ever go back to work again. You know what do they do? They go home and they apply, they go on the internet and they apply for a Netflix account. You know how much it costs for the Netflix account per month? $8, right? And their objective is to spend all of the time of their retirement to catch up on all of the movies that they missed. Is that a retirement life? Yes, it's a lifestyle. Now, to another person, it could be there are so many destinations in the world that they want to travel with their spouse. You see? And it costs much more for the second couple to retire. Is this true? So the first thing we have to find out is their retirement lifestyle. So what we normally ask on this questionnaire right here, of course, we want to know what their income right now, and most importantly, we want to ask them, if you were to retire today, how much money yearly you think you will need? Knowing that now, your mortgage might be paid up already 30 years from now. Is this true? Your kid is guaranteed to grow already unless you have a little baby at the older age, right? You see that? So your retirement life could be just a lifestyle, how much you want to spend between you and your spouse, do whatever you want to do. You see what I mean? And then, you know, you get that information, and now here, you know, you ask, like, you know, how much they have already put away so far for retirement, what is the monthly that they are putting away for that retirement, what kind of rate of return they have for that retirement that they already have. And then you ask for the amount of life insurance that they have. You see that? And then, of course, you know, we want to ask for the installment debt and the credit card debt and the mortgage balance and And then, and you ask them also, what is your monthly discretionary income? After you pay for your mortgage or all of that, how much money left do you have per month? Because you want to identify whether this person will be putting more money into the IUL and things like that nature, right? And then when you do all of that, what I have here is very simple. And this is the formula that I use. This person wants to retire at 65 years old, and he's 30 years old right now. So he has 35 more years. Now this is what happens. If I tell this person, if you want to retire tomorrow with a $5,000 a month, which is $60,000 a year, you need to take that number and you multiply that by 10. Okay. Why do we want to multiply that by 10? Because we want this person to live on the return of the investment. So if you take 60,000, you multiply by 10, that is $600,000. You see that? Now the next thing that I do, and I tell them, now if I can show you the way to make to have an average return about 8% per year, you will get $48,000 from that 600,000. You wouldn't be so far. Then if the government continue paying you roughly about $1,000 a month for Social Security benefits, and then you will get an income of $60,000 next year, and the same thing the year after that, and then the year after that. Because the one thing that you don't want to do in your retirement life is to outlive your retirement income, right? Okay. That is the reason why you only want to live on the return of that investment. Remember, guys, when you out there, trying to promote the IUL product, one of the key of promoting the IUL product is what? The average return of the IUL roughly 1%. You see what I mean? Yeah. So that's one of the key we want to go out there and show our clients that. Now let me share with you what this report, what it does. It identifies that this person will need $600,000, and if we factor in the inflationary rate of 3%, 35 years from now, it will become $1.6 million. You see what I mean? So that is his retirement goal, 35 years from now. Now, based on the information given to me on the plan he already have, the $50,000 he have, and every month he put away $500 on the 401k, he will have $659,000. So he still has a shortage of $979,000. You see that? Now, so what I just did in the few minutes is to identify the number that he still needed to put away more for his retirement. You see? And when we identify that number, what I normally do is I ask the next question: where is most of your money right now? The money that you said that you have left monthly, and most of the time people will tell you it's in the bank. You see that? And then you tell them, hey, if the bank in the next 30 years gives you an average return about 4%, you will need to put away $1,354 monthly for the next 35 years in order for you to reach your retirement goal. You see that? Now, if I can show you where to get an average return about 8%, I don't have to pay tax. All you need to do is put away $427 a month. You see? Yeah. So remember, the first goal is what? You identify their retirement goal and you help them to get there. You see that? And then on this report right here, it does the same thing for the wife. Now, it also do have a formula. If they happen to have 2 children, on this page right here, all you get to do is ask for their name and the year that they was born. Okay, on the collection page right here. And then, to be specific, you ask them what school they are going to. You can actually go to this website right here, find the school. It will tell you how much money yearly right now needed for someone to go to that school right now. Okay, and then when you put in like 4 years and 23,000 for work right here, this calculator will figure out how much totally will cost for that child to go to college 18 years at the age of 18. You see that? And it's also remind the parent that they need to put the money away yearly, roughly for 25,000 a year for most of them. Okay, so what that means? It means that now I should be able to come up with a number right here, where we pay up the debt, to replace the income, to pay up for the mortgage, and the cost for the 2 kids to go to college right here. You are looking at like $1.2 million right here. You see, and then if that person only have 300,000, and then they still need 923. So this is what happened. When I sit down with a client and I go through the financial checkup, I find 2 numbers. Okay, the first number is how much they need to put away monthly. You see that? The second number is the amount of insurance they still need. Right here. And then now you can formulate the IUL, whether you do a regular IUL, the IUL with the term rider on it, or strictly a term, because they could not reach this number right here. So the way that you do it without this calculator is very simple, guys. You sit down with them, you ask them how old are they, and what age they want to retire, right? Then you ask them, if you were to retire next month, how much money you need monthly? You see that? And they tell you a number, you take that number, you multiply by 12, and give you the whole year. And then you take that number, you multiply one more time by 10, and that will give you the number if you were to retire tomorrow. Okay? There is a website called usinflationcalculator.com, and you can actually go there and you put the information in, and it will calculate, like 30 years from now or 10 years from now, how much that number is going to be inflated up to. And that's how you simply identify someone else's retirement number. You see that? And then you just use the rule 70 to go backward to help them to figure out how much monthly. Or you can just Google the investment calculator and go backward to figure out how much monthly they will need in the 4% and 8% situation. Now, in this financial checkup, I also have what we call the historical return of S&P 500 from 1980 to the year 2000. Okay, you are looking at the situation right here. Now, this is what happened. Most of the index products have a cap and a floor, right? And then when you're in a situation where you're competing with someone that you did, for example, from LSW, they said, wow, our product is much better because we have a floor of 2.5%. And then you type in 2.5. And then they say that they have a capital percent. So what it does, when you change those numbers, guess what? You see this curve right here move right there. You with me so far? Mm-hmm. Now, if I happen to have someone that I'm competing to, and they tell me that information, and they tell them, well, we have a product with Allianz with the floor of 0%, but the cap is 16%, and then you put that information in, you see how this curve right here jump all the way up here? You see, the one, their return only come up to roughly about 100,000, and with this increase of 16% cap, guess what? They go all the way up to 140. So when you really sit down with someone who really technical, like an engineer like me, and then you have to have the right tool to convince them. You see what I mean? Right. And I mean, you know, if they are not that technical, you don't have to go there. You know why? Because you have to understand one thing in sales. The more information you try to give out, the more you confuse people. And confuse people, they do nothing. You see what I mean? So you only have the tool available and you use it as needed. You don't use the thing every time. Okay? But that is the technique, you know, when I sit down with a client, and the first thing I want you to do, like I mentioned to you, I want to identify their retirement goal. You know what? Because that is a very good tool for you to recruit them too. After you do all of this right here, you ask them, how would you want to retire at 65? How would you want to retire at 55? You see what I mean? Yeah. And then you can use the investment calculator here, and then you go backwards. And then you will be able to identify how much, you know, how much money they need to put away so that they can retire at 55. You see what I mean? Instead of 65. And then when they see that number is so, you know, it's so much, guess what? You can get them to join QS2 so that they can do, they can get there. That is the bottom line. So that's what I normally do on, you know, when I sit down with a client. And of course, you know, after that you go to the website and you run the illustration and you try to fit your illustration in that two numbers, the death benefit and how much they need to put away. Now, let me share with you. When people, they have a financial goal, now they start listening to you. The next step, I normally explain to them. Most of the time, people will tell me, I cannot afford it. Is it true, right? And then you know you ask them, hey, I just share your number. Let me ask you the question: do you want to retire with that lifestyle or not? Yeah. You see that? Yeah. And if they say, well, I want to, and then you tell them, well, most of the time I know most people cannot afford it. But what they will have to do is they will have to change their saving habit and their spending habit to get there. And most of the time, this is how I relate to them. I ask them, do you own a home? Most people say yes, right? And then you ask them the next question, remember before you purchased your home, you were renting, right? Most people say yes, right? And then you tell them most of the time, is it true that when you buy, after you buy a house, your mortgage payment is more than what you used to pay for rent? Right. Is it true? Mm-hmm. And they say yes. And then why did you buy the house then? And then they said, well, because after 30 years, I have a house. Is this true? Yeah. Right. They said, well, and then I asked them the next question. Let me ask you a question though. After you purchased that house, did you change your job? No. Did you make more income? No. And how come you can afford to pay the house? Because I had a financial objective and a discipline. And somehow I was able to make that change. Is this true? And I said, that's a house. How about the rest of your life? Is that something not very important to you? You see what I mean? Now, they will have the objective that they have to discipline. Now, for those of us in QS2, guys, it is very important for each and every one of you to really identify your retirement goal. Is it true? Yeah. Hey, you are in business for one reason, right? You want to eat well for your family, you want the family too, not all the people for your family. You see that? So when you identify that retirement goal, now you know that, hey, you will need that IUL. You with me so far? Yeah. Guys, all you got to do, you listen to me now, okay? All you got to do is discipline to change your spending habit and saving habit in the next 6 months to a year. Meaning that, guys, how many of you need to drink coffee from Starbucks? A lot of people, you know. Now, if you happen to change your spending habit, by mixing your own instant coffee in the morning. You know how much you can save monthly? About 200 bucks a month, right? How many of us in this room, go out to lunch every time? If you change your habit by packing your own lunch, guess what? You save a few $100 a month, right? Coupled with the way we help you to save on your auto insurance. And if you have a low deductible on your auto insurance, ask yourself the next question. In the past 5 years, how many accidents do you have, right? If you said none, well, in the next 5 years, most likely you're not going to have the accident. So let's increase that deductible so your premium go down. Right. You save some money there, okay? Look into your homeowner insurance. When was the last time you checked the replacement cost of your homeowner insurance? You see that? Bring that thing down too. And with all of those tools that will help you and coupled with the help in insurance, guys, there's no doubt in my mind that every one of you can put away, $400, $350 a month on the IUL today.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
You see what I mean?
Yeah.
And when you make that decision today, your business will start growing with your downline to come to you. So a year from now, 6 months from now, you make $10,000, $20,000, $30,000 a month. You can go back to Starbucks and drink all the coffee you want. Somebody has to give before they get. It's just true. And then you get to develop that culture right now. And don't wait. Do it this weekend. So that we can move the hierarchy, we can get more people in, so that we can really take this business to the next level. You see? So now let me share with you a plan. How many of you want to make like $50,000 6 months from now? $50,000 a month. All right, let me show you before I get too excited. See, the whole concept that I just shared with you, is on the PowerPoint too. Okay, if you on my hierarchy, you got my email on that the last email on that checklist. Something look like this, the checklist for your success. And then you can actually download all of the presentation that I have under the form. It's hyperlinked to the cloud, okay? So as you read this documentation, for example, your 200 name on the prospect list right here, you click on the hyperlink, you will be able to download that form as you read, okay? And if you go to this page right here with prepare yourself a binder right here, down here there's an index universal presentation. If you click on that, and then you should be able to download the IUL presentation right here, the same information. And then of course, if you happen to click on the financial checkup spreadsheet, and then you should be able to download the Excel file that I just used. But technically, what we should do in every office is to go through this presentation to for the team members so that they understand the beauty of the IUL. See the thing is at the presentation, we don't have time to go to individual age. You see that? So that's why I like to use a case study of 30 years old and 65, and the same techniques what I just shared with you, how to identify their retirement goal. You with me so far? And then we go to the U.S. inflation calculator right there to calculate. And then of course, we figure out how to show them how to get there. You with me so far?
Yeah.
And then the next step, just like anyone else, we talk about the Rule 72. And the reason why I don't use past 8%, what? Because I want to make sure that we get our client mind to get to the 8%, you try to sell the 12%, and guess what? They try to look for the 12%. You see what I mean? So the 8%, I think, and then you go through that, and then we go through the tax information right there, and then that's the code right there. Most people, they will ask, now, how do I get 8%? And then that's how you show them this right here. You with me so far? Yeah. And then of course, we talk about, it's not about you getting more money into this plan right here. We just have to help you to find out, what you're spending right now, to see whether we can save you more. And then we will put that into a product that helps your family. And one of the way that I use to sell life insurance is this picture right here. Most of the time people can relate to the picture where you see, and that's typical family, husband, wife, 2 kids, right? QS2, right? And what happened is they have a house that they live in. Kids, they go to school and they have friends in school. The emotional connection right here, you ask the father. Now, if you happen to get involved in an accident or sometime, you're not there anymore, will your wife be able to continue paying for that mortgage from the house that you live in? If the answer is no, 2 things going to happen, right? Either she's going to have to sell the house and move somewhere, or lose the house to foreclose. You see that? When that happens, guess what? Kids might not be able to go to the same school, and they might lose the friend that they currently have. So think about the life of your kids. They just lost the father. Now they lost all of the friends and their environment that they live in. What kind of momentum are they going to have in life? Yeah. You see that? Now when you talk to a caring husband, a caring father, most of the time they want to find out how to protect their children. You with me so far? Man, I guess in this situation, during my years selling life insurance, sit down with husband and wife, and then the moment the wife will get the checkbook, the husband said, hey, why do we have to pay $500 for this life insurance? And then if I die, my wife will remarry, and that's money to the rest of me. Guess what? They're not going to keep the policy. They think that way. Yeah. You see what I mean? But if you already prepare them with the mindset for their kid, and then they will keep the policy. You see what I mean? Hey, face the reality, guys. Most of the marriage out there is broken, right? So you try to sell it to the spouse, and you sell it to the wrong crowd, right? So and then of course what I normally do is just go to the story of two twin brothers right here, because I want the number to speak by itself or for itself. Very much simple, 29 years of age. Jack and John should really put away $200 a month. Jack put money in the bank earning 2%. John happened to invest his money in the index universal life, 8% return, taxable accumulation, tax-free income, death benefit, and living benefit. And most of the time, this picture right here, cover them all. Because 20 years after they put the money in there, both of them outlaid $48,000. You with me so far? Yeah. Jack account grew to $58,959, and John cash value based on the illustration is about $69,338. At this time, you ask them. Now, if something happened to Jack right here, his family only have $59,000. You with me so far? Right. Something happened to John right here, his family have $600,000. It's not about the income right here. It's about what you can use with this money right here. You tell them, hey, his wife can take part of that money, pay up the house. She never have to worry about mortgage ever again, right? The rest of the money we can help her to invest with in after return 8%. Guess what? She might be able to retire. You see that? Without having to go out and marry another husband to raise your kids, right? And then, in most of the states, this policy also has the chronic illness rider or the LTC rider, where if something happens to John, if he unable to do 2 of those 6 daily living activities, the company will pay him $10,000 a month. You see what I mean? Now, if something like that happened to Jack, he probably lasts for another 6 months and he's run out. You see? Now, moving forward, 40 years later, at 69 years old, they both outlay about $96,000 right here. Jack money grow to $146,000 in the bank. John's cash value grow to $354,000. You see that?
Yeah.
And they still have the debt benefit and the long-term benefit for John. Now, at this point right here, I also want to explain about the tax benefit of this policy right here. See, most people in this room right now, let me ask you a question. How many of you in this room right now think that tax will go up 10 years, 20 years?
Yeah.
It will go up, because of baby boomer generation, right? Now, if tax going to goes up and you've been deferring all of your tax in a qualified plan, guess what? You are deferring your tax liability from a lower tax bracket to a higher one. You see what I mean? Now, this is what happened. If 401k or TSP or 403b, all of those qualified plans is all you have, guess what? Every dollar that you take out from that plan, it will be taxable. And not only that, it will actually determine what tax bracket you are going to be paying. Because the more you take out, the higher tax bracket you will be at. You with me so far? Yeah. And if you do not have any permanent life insurance like the IUL, guess what? You have no choice. You have to pay the tax because you need the income. Now, if you happen to have this policy with you, now you are able to be in a position where you can control how much tax you pay for each year. The only thing that you need to do, you call your CPA up or whoever does your tax return, right? Tell them how much do I have to take the money out from my 401k to stay in the lower tax bracket. You see that? And you take just that much out. The remainder of the money that you need, you borrow from this life insurance. You with me so far?
Can you go over that one more time?
Okay. If you call your tax accountant or you go to the IRS website, you figure out how much money that you can take out to keep yourself in the minimum tax bracket. Okay. Of course, it has to be above the RMD. You see what I mean? And then you take that out. Now that will keep you in the lower tax bracket and the minimum tax you need to pay to the IRS. You with me so far? The remainder of the money that you need for that year, you can borrow it out from this plan right here. So it gives you the flexibility to control your own tax.
Yeah.
You see what I mean? At the older age, it's a huge benefit. You know why? Because you never know what if tax going to be 50%.
Yeah.
You never know, right? See, and then that is another benefit that they have. Now let's say, they would have to use that at 89 years old, both of them passed away. Guess what? Jack left about $278,000 to his family. And John happened to live $2 million to his family. Guys, and look, here is just the classic example. What we do in our company is to help people to move their money from one financial institution to another financial institution. You see what I mean?
Yeah.
Have I tried to sell them an IUL yet? No, I'm just guiding them logically through the process that how this information can benefit if they have to make that decision. The same $200 a month, the benefit is much more on this side of the equation. You see that?
Yeah.
And when we start running this, guys, internal consumption, training sale, hey, you can just share this thing to your family right here,
Yeah.
and they will buy. You see, they will see the benefit of it. And then of course, we tell them, hey, you're not investing money into QS2, okay? We are helping you to represent all of those companies out there. Now, I mentioned about the process of how to make $50,000 a month in 6 months. The process is very simple. Now you can actually push that to be quicker because of what Dan create for the super faster. You see, technically, you know, if you in the training room today, you make your the decision to do what the first thing you will do. You got to get your internal consumption down, right? And then the next thing that what you need to do is you need to contact your upline licensed member and to pair up with him for 1 day. Remember what I shared with you? You know, back-to-back appointment for 5 hours on one weekend or 2 weeknights.
Yeah.
All right, and get your field training, the fire sale training done. After you're done with that company policy, right now, the licensed member will pay back $995. You can do it 2 ways, okay? You can pay back the cash, or you can actually pay for their education. It's safer to pay for their education. So because you can always pay for someone education if they go work for you, right? So you pay for the pre-licensing, the exam, the license fee. You see that? And then the next month, what do you do? Is it instead of giving the cash to your trainee now, what do? You can buy either final expense lead or mortgage protection lead. See, I always believe in the concept that if I give someone a fish, they can only eat it for 1 day.
Yeah.
Right? If I teach them how to fish, they can eat it for life, right? So if I happen to say, hey, you know, let me buy the final expense lead, I want to go out there, I want to teach you how to do final expense lead. Let's say, you know, the company that I used to use, it cost about $450 for the final expense lead. You see that? The trainee pick the zip code and you pay the money. What this company does is it will send out, you know, 1,000 cards talking about final expense insurance, and out of and then of course they pre-select the demographics and the income group that's suitable for, I mean, that need this kind of protection, okay? And normally when they send out 1,000, 2% of it will come back, meaning that, you know, they saw the information, they write their birthday, and they said, they want to see you to talk about final expense insurance. And they will mail it back to the insurance, the lead company. The lead company, they will scan it and email to you immediately. And that is the exclusive lead that comes to you. All you got to do is, you know, you pair up, you go out with a licensed member, and the licensed member will train this trainee how to do final expense lead. In New York, I think like we're approved with Forrester, Forrester, right? So let's say, you know, you go out and you do the blend ride with Forrester. One thing about the final expense insurance, guys, is, you know, it's a whole life policy between $10,000 to $35,000 coverage. Okay, no medical. You know, all you have to do at the time you make a sale, you call in and then you do the interview, and sometimes you get the approved immediately. You see. So the commission of the final expense, you know, get paid out rather quickly too. So let me share with you. You know, if the trainee go out and his closing ratio is about 50%, okay, and let's say, you know, that's about 10 policy, and the target premium about 10,000. You see, now he's at the NMB level now, so his commission will be $5,700. You with me so far? Now the next thing we will tell this person, why don't you reinvest another $450, pick another zip code, and do one more time. You know, my objective, guys, is we want to show that someone can come to our organization within 90 days, will be able to learn how to make $10,000 a month, and they have no prior experience at all about financial services. You know how companies to make $10,000 a month part-time out there? If they can make it here, we have a statement to make. You see what I mean? At this point right here, this trainee have 2 choices. The first choice, continue doing this, and then he will visit me another insurance agent, right? The next choice, he recruit someone in and show to this person hey, I came to this organization less than 3 months, I make $10,000 a month. You want to make the money like me, just follow my footsteps. You see? Hey, a lot of people, they will follow this guy's footsteps, and guess what? If this new training, as a national market director now, you know, train 220 a month, right? 220, and let's say, you know, they do 10 IUL sale with the average target premium of 3,000 right there. You look at an income of $17,000 a month. You see that? Now, if they happen to have to pay back the final expense lead and the reimbursement for the education cost for 220, they still got to give 15,000. Remember, without the leadership bonus system now, the company actually will pay somebody with this kind of production $1,500 in stipend anyway, so they still get to keep the 17. So this is the plan, guys. Any of you in this room, in the next 2 weeks, go for the field training and go through this process right here and get your license. Next month, you should be able to make $10,000. You see that? So let's say if it takes you 3 months to learn, and the next 3 months you start earning. By the end of the 6 months, you will have 6 national marketing directors with your organization. You with me so far? Okay, the way it works is very simple. They practice the same formula right here. Go out there and do 2 training sales a week. You with me? Train 2 people doing 2 training sales a week. The income will be anywhere from $15,000 to $17,000 a month. Okay, they're happy doing that part-time, right?
Yeah.
Right.
Now you, at this point right now, you are the executive field chairman of the company. Your contract will be 62.5%. This is how it works. Your national market director contract is 57.5, so there's a 5% differential right there, plus an 8% generational override. You are looking at 13%, right? So 13% of 6 national market director doing 220 sales a week, the override $21,000 a month.
Wow.
Now, if you go out there and continue to lead by example by training 2 rookies a month, on your own pen, you get another $16,000 on your personal production. Plus, by that time, your production is $189,000 a month in your base. Guess what? You get a bonus of $12,500 a month. So you add on those 3 numbers up, that is $50,000 a month income. 6 months from now.
Wow.
And it's a decision today.
Yeah.
Okay? A year from now, let's say you continue doing that, and you have 12 national market director frontline to you doing the same situation. Guess what? With all of the numbers right here, your income will be $92,000 a month. That will get you to the position to make $1 million a year with us. Yeah, this is a formula. If you believe in it and you duplicate it, it will work. Now let me share with you guys. We've been talking about all of the giants that come in here that have a chance to earn 1% of the company. Did you know that that person could be you in this room?
Yeah.
Let me share with you. After one year, if you successfully do this, okay, don't you think that you can reach down to 4 of your 12 national market directors and help them to do the same thing?
Yes.
Let me share with you. If you have this kind of higher production right here, your total production is $4 million a year. If you reach down to have 4 of your national market director to do the same thing next year, you have a hierarchy that does $16 million a year. That will qualify you in the 1% of the company.
Nice.
Now, if you look left and right, there's more than 30 individuals in here. What does it mean? It means that the race is on.
Yeah.
Right.
Those who see this and make a decision to do this have a chance for that 1%. I'm telling you, if you get there and the door closed, it sucks. Because 1%, what does it This means that when our company hit $1 billion market cap, it's $10 million equity. And roughly about $1 million a year dividend outside of your commission, your override. Is it nice to have that kind of?
Yeah.
But you still get the override and the commission. When the door closes, you don't get the other two.
Yeah.
You with me so far? And the company very smart. Have that 30% right there, so we can all run for it. And every day I wake up in the morning, I got to make sure that I'm in. Do you see what I mean? And you never know. Anybody in this room make that decision and duplicate the formula right here, you might get there faster than most of us. You see what I mean? Because if you really learn that the equity sharing, you have to have the 5 legs. And 5 legs minimum. Five, you read that thing,
Yeah.
5 legs. Rocky right now, Rocky have more legs than what he has.
Yeah, 60 legs.
You know why? Because he might walk in retirement plan too. But Rocky right now have a very, very good chance. I only have 2 strong legs. I still have to work on the other 3 to make it happen. You see that? But if you decided to work on this formula right here, guys, 2 years from now, you get that 1%. And that's why I like to. And then hey, the whole time that I talk about the potential income, guys, it's only first generation. I have not talked about second generation all the way down to 10th generation yet. So when you get 12 national market director doing that, you're not going to make $1 million a year. You will make at least 2.
Yeah.
You see what I mean? And guys, let me close with this. Like I mentioned, guys, it's a race. Every morning, if you look at this, every morning in Africa, a gazelle wakes up, it knows it must outrun the fastest lion, or it will be killed. And every morning in Africa, a lion wakes up, it knows it must run faster than the slowest gazelle, or got nothing to eat. You see that? It doesn't matter whether you are a lion or a gazelle. When the sun comes up, you better get right now.
Hi guys, listen, closing for today, a couple of things. Tomorrow morning we're going to be starting sharp at 10 o'clock. Okay? I mean, we're pulling the trigger at 10 o'clock. Also, I just want to ask one question. Anybody knows what the retirement age is here? 67, 65, 62. Well, let me help you out. There is no such thing. Retirement is financial independence, where you could accumulate enough money, where you can live off the interest of your money. You can retire any day you want to. So what's stopping people from retiring? They don't have the accumulation part, right? So what you guys saw today is how we can put that accumulation part on the table today if somebody doesn't come home tomorrow.